This is so exciting. The thing that's kept me motivated when it comes to breeding flowers, it's not the goal. The goal would be to have a beautiful variety in the end to share with the world. It's actually getting to spend time with the plants. To wake up each morning and see these beautiful little creatures, to work with them and listen to them and ask them who they want to be. That's been the best part for me. They are unique and they have little tiny beautiful flaws. They're streaked and watercolored with a little bit of glitter sprinkled on them. They're so full of life. Isn't that cool?
They're both hearts.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what kind of effect they have on other people, because I know how powerful it's been in my own life. Okay, here's Floret's daughters. I think this is the best bucket of the bunch.
Why do you love that one the most?
Well, they're just so beautiful. Every one of them. Oop, except that one. She looks a little beat up. I've just never seen a dahlia where all of the seedlings from it are beautiful. Look at that.
It is freaking stunning.
They're spectacular. That's just like such a surprise. I started breeding flowers, I would say 6 or 7 years ago. And in the beginning, I didn't even know what I was doing. I had been a flower farmer for a dozen years, and I still every year was ordering my seed in packets, and it didn't occur to me where my seed came from. It was really just kind of a quest for understanding and learning.
Golden hour.
Golden hour. Start of all of it. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Just one flower.
I know.
I just had found one plant in a giant field that I wanted to save seed from. They look good.
They do. They look so good.
Yeah, thank God. I was able to collect a few flower heads at the end of the season off that one plant. I saved it. The next year we grew it out and saved seed off of that. And each year I have been planting it again, been roguing it and working on it. And now it is a lovely, stable, uniform variety called Golden Hour.
Getting dangerous now.
Probably 80% of the new zinnias, all the things behind me, came from some little sport or offshoot of Golden Hour. I mean, it really is the mother of all. It's the mother of the Floret originals, really.
Tell me about Chris's rainbow.
Well, this is really unicorn sunset. We also call it Chris's rainbow. It's gonna be the next big thing.
It is gonna be the next big thing.
You're determined.
Chris's rainbow.
Okay, so we are filming. Chris is standing on the tailgate. All flowers are beautiful, all of them, and they all deserve a place in the garden. But I think up until recently, what made it to market kind of had to fit in a box. And what's so cool is I got to throw all those rules out and write my own. There's our first girl.
Beauty. There we go.
Flowers that start in the fall. Okay. I think they've been there all along. It's just they weren't being picked. They weren't being chosen. And that's where all of this has come from. Okay, so will you just make sure that there's no cruddy flower heads, because I can't really see. Is that look good?
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Is that swooping? So good, girls and guys and creatures. This doesn't even look real. Look at that. They're so cute. They're like little babies.
They're like little flower girls.
They are. This one's named after my 4-year-old self.
Okay. Beautiful. Got it.
I can't even. That's so pretty.
I don't feel like anything's missing. I have the language about using the email when available feature for the varieties people are interested in, and that's all clear, but I want in the introduction for it to kind of like lead with that excitement.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Timmy. Okay, we want to just read what we got.
So, okay, this is what I led with. Here on the farm, we've been busy harvesting and cleaning all of the seed that's part of our breeding program, and the crops are looking incredible.
That's good, yeah. Right? And then after more than 6 years of dedicated, intentional work, I'm thrilled to announce that we finally have enough breeding seed to share.
Yeah.
Like, how long have I been waiting to say that?
And that deserves an exclamation point.
Yep.
So over in the Floret shop,
there are 26 varieties that are going to be part of this first offering that are going to go out into the world in the new year. But here on the farm, we've got close to 400 unique varieties, maybe 500, that are part of the breeding program. So there is a lot going on that is not ready to put out into the world quite yet. All right. I just wanted to check on them, make sure everything is getting watered, and then I wanted to put all the labels in. Just because, why not?
Yeah.
These look good, don't they? Yeah. That's really exciting. Oh, look, there's a little robin on the post.
Yeah.
Love it. Whenever I'm looking at a new potential variety, I love anything that is unique or different. Like, that's always the first thing I'm looking for. And then, does it have a beautiful color? Good old Alpenglow. She lives to see another day. I'm definitely drawn to the soft, more pastel colors because the market is really lacking those and it needs it. We need more natural flowers that are attractive to pollinators, that are in beautiful soft colors, that can be grown in a wide range of climates, especially hot ones, because the planet is heating up and the weather is becoming more extreme. Feels a little bit like a rally cry. Definitely like kind of stamping my rod down and saying, like, this is what I believe in, this is what I stand for, this is what I think should change, which feels very scary, but at the same time, it's time to talk about it. I'm really excited to start that conversation.
Totally.
Yeah. Why is this so calming? I love doing this. The work that we're doing here, we're focusing on varieties that can be grown in a wider range of climates and they cannot be shipped. Typically, nearly every variety that makes it onto the market is being bred with transportation in mind. It is meant to be part of a global flower distribution chain. The varieties that we're breeding, they just can't handle it. They are not able to be taken out of water and put in a box. And I think that's so fantastic because if you want to work with them and if you want to enjoy them, you either have to grow them or find someone locally to do it. You have to support your local farmer. Precious metals, I mean, look at this. Like, these are the biggest zinnias I've ever seen. Look at that. And that's just normal. Like, I was just in the hoop house and just grabbed any old random flower. Isn't that great?
Amazing.
I mean, I've got a lot of seed I've been stashing, so
I'm scrolling.
I've been
away.
squirreling. I've been waiting for the big day. Feels like the time is right for it. Like the world needs them. So this first offering that we're going to be putting out into the world this winter includes 3 main groups of plants. We have zinnias, celosia, and dahlias. The first is zinnias, which are easy to grow, super productive. They're the ultimate cut flower. The more you pick them, the more they bloom. Pollinators love them. But all of them are really lovely kind of pastel colors. Celosia are a great hardworking group of plants. They have these unusual kind of velvety blooms. They either come in these big kind of candelabras or kind of silky tassels or big fan-shaped blooms. They kind of look like a coral reef underwater. They're very textural and unusual. They love the heat, they love humidity, and they're super easy to grow. The last group are dahlias. They're so wild and unexpected and uncontrolled. Like you kind of don't know what you're gonna get. But we have figured out how to refine dahlias down into these groups. So while you don't know the exact varieties you're gonna get, you do kind of have a sense of the shapes that are gonna come out of the mixes. So I'm in the middle of making different selections of zinnias from our breeding program. So what we've done is we've planted out seeds from each of the selections that we saved last year. And not all of them come back true to what I want them to be. Only a small percentage the first year, a larger percentage the next year, and then each year you keep working on them, more and more of them look like the ones that you want. So what I'm doing is when I look at a bed full of flowers, I want to compare it to what did the mother of it last year look like. So I'm going to look up DC Giant Blush Selections, and I'm gonna hold it up next to it and be like, yeah, okay, that looks right. That one's good. Where that one, not so much, still beautiful, but not what I'm going for. So what I'm doing is I'm wanting to like confirm against what I had last year and then find the ones in this bed that came back true. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig them up, take all the ones that are correct, and I'm gonna move them to a smaller greenhouse, or what I call a flysolation, which is basically a little tiny space where I can put the plants that I want inside, and then I can introduce flies, which is what we use for pollinators to help with pollination and seed set. And then I'll save the seed from that, grow it out next year, and hopefully more of the flowers that return will look like their mother. This might be my favorite zinnia flower of the entire year. Look at that. She's just perfection. Have you ever seen anything like that? Or look at the one behind her with this little fuzzy middle and then these almost look like feathers sticking out of the center. All of the varieties that are in this house originated from seed that was gifted to me by Corey at Dawn Creek, who is a zinnia breeder, and she sent some of her stuff for me to try and grow out, and I started discovering little treasures in the mix. Now I have an entire greenhouse full of different selections, but it's all thanks to another breeder sharing their seed with me. So someone else's great ideas can kind of spark and give way to new ideas that bless you, and then people after me will get them, and it's just this like beautiful kind of flowery ripple effect. Corey is a really interesting, beautiful soul that I met some years ago when I was first getting into flower breeding. I saw some pictures of these pastel colored zinnias that she posted online, and I was totally freaking out. Like there was nothing like it that I had ever seen. They were colors that didn't exist, and we struck up like an instant friendship and have been pen pals back and forth for years and years, and we've exchanged seeds. A few years ago, we started talking about some of her limitations because she's on a very small piece of land and we actually have ground to grow in up here. we started playing around with the idea of us taking a few of her mixes, helping to refine them and work on them kind of in the direction that she was hoping to go.
Oh, hello.
And then being able to offer some of her seeds along with ours when the time was right.
They're so cute.
This one has such great energy, like just out of control sweetness.
Yes.
But it is like with your pictures and your description and then trying to follow that and be like, I think this is what you want it to be and I think this is what you want this one to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to mess this up.
They're beautiful, Erin. They're so beautiful. I am so happy for these little guys living their best life.
They're having a good time.
Yes.
What's really exciting about this first big initial offering is that there are 4 different Dawn Creek mixes that are going to be going alongside of all of our flowers at the same time.
I have these very particular ideas about what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And then realizing that once they're out there in the world, the magic is that whoever picks it up, they'll resonate with certain ones.
Yeah.
You're empowering people to save the seeds, save seeds. This is how you do it.
Right.
You can do it.
You don't want to hoard it or hold on to it, but at the same time, it's there's got to be some kind of code of conduct or a general set of not rules but respect. And this is how we're all gonna play. This is how
Etiquette,
we're
yeah.
gonna play. You can follow or not, but setting a tone of respect for all the years that of work that have gone into this.
Yeah.
That is the big question: is how can an independent plant breeder actually make a living?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
We're in uncharted territory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that's the problem to solve, which sounds like such a fun problem to solve.
Love that.
She likes
yeah.
problems.
I love
Yes.
problems. I mean, yes, I do actually. I love them. So here's for all your babes outside. So here's the coral cactus and then
Oh my god.
I know this is where you just need to go lay down.
So good. Wow. Each of us as breeders are channeling something into the world, and that takes so much.
Yeah.
How do we honor that? I really have a lot of faith in your first steps here, starting with the royalties, starting with the building up of people's awareness so that there's more of a knowledge and language around what is the effort it takes for people to grow these seeds out and have them be what they are. Being with a certain plant over generations, it's like building a community with the plants.
Yeah.
And you get to see them through all their different stages, and you get to look forward to what new, surprising, beautiful things you could have never predicted are going to come next. I don't want to keep people from that. It's like that saying, you hold sand too tightly in your hand and it'll slip through your fingers. I don't want to do that with these. So here's your flush. Oh my goodness. Wow. Ah!
Right?
It's amazing. Hello, everybody.
I know, right?
Yeah. What? I'm just
There's so many little souls in there.
yeah, they're waiting. They feel ready.
Don't they?
They're get us out there.
The breeding project is the biggest project that I've ever taken on. One, because of the amount of years that the project has spanned. And then in terms of quantity, we have never produced this much seed of any particular variety. It's only 26 varieties, but many, many, many more packets of each variety. Where in the past we had a much wider offering, but a much smaller quantity of each one. We're also retiring the Floret seed line that we've offered up until this point, where, all the kind of standard traditional varieties, and we're focusing going forward on only the Floret originals and the breeding seed that's coming from the farm. So it's kind of it's a big deal in, like our history or whatever. Like it's a big moment.
When I'm harvesting, I like to think that the plants are like so stoked about it, because we're here taking care of them, and so much more of their seed will end up continuing on than seed would in the wild, Like this is like where it's at if you're a flowering plant. So these hanging on to the base of the petals is the seed right there. So when you pull each petal has seed attached to it.
Oh, is this Chris's rainbow?
Yeah.
This is the flower that's going to change the world. I'm just saying. Aaron thinks otherwise, but you just wait. It's going to be the one. It's beautiful, but it doesn't really go with the breeding colors. Like, it's not like the color you would pick to do the style of arrangements that Aaron likes to do, I think. I think they're really just beautiful, like standalone kind of colors, but they're the ones that I got to pick out.
It does kind of look like a sunset,
Yeah.
I have to say. The
Yeah.
sunset is perfect.
Yeah.
Chris's sunset. This is one of my favorites. Just spreading these heads out so they can dry without molding. So we'll spread them out on this breathable fabric so air can go underneath and in between. And let the seeds fully dry out.
I feel really connected to the varieties, and I've never had something that I've worked on like this get released out into the world in the same way. It feels pretty important. It feels pretty big to me.
So in the cut flower and gardening industry, like where most plants and seeds are sold, most of those varieties are hybrids. And when it comes to hybrids, if you want to save your seed from them, they will not come back true to the plant that you saved them from. We are going to always have to be dependent on these large companies to have to keep rebuying seeds. It's like we've lost touch with being able to be independent. The varieties that we're working on are open pollinated, and that means that if you want to save the seed from them, you can collect it and they will come back true year after year. So really, you only ever have to invest in that seed one time. You can keep reproducing and saving the stock of that seed for your entire lifetime. You can pass it to your children and their children. I don't want people to have to come back year after year. I want them to learn how to save their seeds, be empowered, be able to not have to buy more every single year. I don't want to hold on to it and protect it. I want to put it out into the world and share it. And how many budding plant breeders are there that just don't even know that they are yet? That's what I'm so excited about. It's like the whole new generation of plant breeders that are going to come out of this project. And this is the material they can start with. Oh, look, there's a blue heron. Look. You see him?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good sign. I mean, we have a blue heron. It's been hanging out here all week. I forgot to tell you that. I always feel like if you were a bird, you'd be a blue heron. How do you feel? Like, often as we approach frost, there's often a relief. You know, if it's been a hard season, or do you feel like you're gonna miss them, or?
I feel a lot of excitement for these new seeds that we're putting out.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that feels so different and new to me. It's something we've never done before, really. And so, I mean, we've been doing we've been doing the same thing for a few years now.
9.
Yeah, and so even though some of the actions within that are the same, the whole kind of why behind all of it is different.
Yeah.
And that to me is exciting. I feel like, yeah, it's just cool to be moving on.
It's like our new mission.
Yeah. I'm just proud of us.
Yeah, it was a long haul.
Yeah.
We still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but like it's truly moving into the next phase.
Yeah, I know, like a truly new chapter.
Yeah.
Little cuties.
Yeah, they're beauties.
Day 1 of seed packing. We have an army.
A lot of packets. Yeah, sure is. Yeah. This is what 30,000 packets looks like.
Okay, no, yo agarré uno a este. Este es mi picada.
This project, it has gone on to become something so much bigger than we imagined. There are so many hands and so much care that has gone into bringing these varieties into form. The seed is sown into the trays so it's touched, and then the little plants sprout up and we thin them. They're touched again, and then they're watered and cared for, like gently touched again, and then they get planted into the field, then again, and then they get pinched and they get strung up and corralled and staked and cared for, and the bees come and do their work, or the flies, and then once the seed is ripe, then again they're touched, they're picked. Every single flower head is harvested. They're poured out and spread out onto tables, and then they're crushed either by foot or hand, and then they're cleaned and screened, and then they're actually placed back into packets by hand. The amount of collective energy that has gone into growing these varieties over the last 6 years is staggering. Each set of hands has been so loving and put so much intention and care into those plants. They're very, very loved little babies. I feel like I'm their caretaker. It's my job to make sure that they have gotten to become who they were intended to be. Now it's your turn. Make room for them in your life because they want to be part of it. They'll not be like anything else you've grown before.